Good morning, students. Today, let me start with a new chapter under biochemistry chapter that is biomolecules, under which the first biomolecule that you are supposed to study is about carbohydrates. Probably you have studied a bit of this in PU class itself about the different biomolecules, and the elaborate form of that topic is going to be discussed here. What are carbohydrates? They are the simple organic carbonates containing carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, generally in a ratio of 2:1, but not always hydrogen and oxygen are found in the proportion of 2:1 as in case of water. The term carbohydrates itself suggests that they are the hydrates of carbon. They are the most abundant biomolecules present on this earth, ranging from simple sugars to starch and the citric-like polysaccharides. And many carbohydrates have a generalized formula which is represented as 2n is equal to C plus 1, where n is 3 or more. The proportion of oxygen is lower in few carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are the aldehydes or ketone derivatives of polyhydroxy alcohols. Thus, each carbohydrate contains an aldehyde and a ketone group and is known as aldose or ketones. Therefore, a carbohydrate may be chemically defined as an organic compound that contains a carboxylic group, that is either ketone or aldehyde. And continuation with the properties of these carbohydrates. In addition to two or more alcohol groups are that which yields such compounds upon hydrolysis. The general formula of carbohydrates is not applicable for some of these carbohydrates like deoxyribose sugar or in general deoxy sugars, which will contain nitrogen, phosphorus or sulfur associated with them. Carbohydrates occur in a variety of forms, and they may be physically or chemically sound to proteins as well as fats, or they may be free. The chief sources of carbohydrates in our food are cereals and pulses. Now, coming to the classification of carbohydrates. There are three main groups of carbohydrates. They are monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides, wherein monosaccharides containing only one sugar unit or saccharide unit, whereas oligosaccharides contain 2 to more number of sugar units, and polysaccharides containing many sugar units in them. So as the name itself suggests, polysaccharides contain, poly means many or more, so they contain more number of sugar units in them. The term saccharide is derived from a Greek term saccharon, which means sugar. Carbohydrates are the organic compounds that exhibit stereoisomerism, that is, different molecule in which the order of bonding is same, but the special relationship among the atoms is different. Now, coming to properties of monosaccharides. These are simple sugars consisting of single polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone unit, and they are colorless, sweet to taste, soluble in water, and can pass through permeable membranes. They are also called simple sugars as they consist of monomers only, and they are the fundamental group of carbohydrates, and they cannot be split further by hydrolysis. The number of carbon atom in monosaccharides varies from 3 to 8, based on which they are further classified into the following types. They are, first one, trioses. As the name itself suggests, they contain 3 carbon atoms in them, and they have a general molecular formula of C3H6O3, example glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone, etc. And the structure of this is given here, that is for your information, and wherein you can observe that the CH2OH, that is alcoholic group, is present at the bottom, which is having uh, actually having 3 carbon atoms that you can observe here very clearly. And on the right side of the carbon atom that is there in the middle, there will be aldehyde group or OH group, and H ion is there or H atom is there on the left hand side. And there is a slight change that is observed in case of dihydroxyacetone, so that you can make out here in this slide. Then the next one will be tetroses, which contain 4 carbon atoms in their molecules. Example, erythrose. Then about pentoses, they contain 5 carbon atoms in their molecules. Example, ribose, deoxyribose, and ribose, xylulose, etc. And the structure of that ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar is given over here, so that is for your reference. Then coming to hexoses, which contain 6 carbon atoms as the name itself suggests in their molecules. Example, glucose, fructose, and galactose. Coming to the structure of glucose and galactose, as you observe here, almost they have the same structure, but there is a slight change in the orientation of these H and OH components here. Okay, so this is also given over here for your reference, that is the structure of glucose and galactose. In general, monosaccharides usually exist as isomers. For example, the 3 hexose sugars like glucose, 3 hexose sugars like glucose, fructose, galactose are all isomers of each other, having the same chemical formula, that is C6H12O6. That is what you can make out here in this structure of glucose and galactose. But the difference is with reference to the orientation of this H and OH ions. And generally, isomers have the same structure but different in their arrangement. That is what you must have observed in the structure in the previous slide with reference to glucose and galactose. And their atoms are group of atoms in 3-dimensional space. Then stereoisomers. Glucose and galactose are the mirror images of each other. That is what you must have observed in the previous slide. So that they are stereoisomers or optical isomers. So here you must observe one thing, that these are called, that is glucose and galactose are stereoisomers. The very name itself suggests they are the mirror images of the other one. So such components are called stereoisomers. Then coming to the second type of carbohydrates, that is oligosaccharides. It is a type of carbohydrate containing 2 to 10 number of monosaccharide units in it, and it consists of short chains of monosaccharides units in it, and it consists of short chains of monosaccharide units or the residues which are joined by characteristic bond called glycosidic bond or linkage. And the most abundant ones that are the disaccharides, which contain 2 monosaccharide units which join together by glycosidic bond. Coming to the types of oligosaccharides, as I said earlier, the most abundant type of oligosaccharides will be disaccharides. And as the name itself suggests, disaccharides contain 2 monomers or saccharide units in it. Example, sucrose, maltose, and lactose. Then the next type, trisaccharides. They contain 3 monomers or saccharide units in them. That is what the name itself suggests. Examples are raffinose, arabinose, and raminose, etc. Then comes the tetrasaccharides. As the name itself suggests, they contain 4 monomer units in it or 4 saccharide units in it. Examples are stachyase, cardose, etc. Then comes the pentasaccharides, which contain 5 monomer units in it. Example, verbescose. And the example for oligosaccharide with structural formula and characters are as follows. Disaccharides are sweet to taste and soluble in water. They can pass through permeable membrane. and they are easily soluble. They show easily solubility, which make them available for chemical reactions. And they are commonly called double sugars because they contain two sugar units in them. And a disaccharide is the anhydride of the two monosaccharides and is formed by the condensation of two monomers of the monosaccharides with the elimination of one molecule of water. That means at the time of formation of these glycosidic bonds between the two saccharide units, there will be the elimination of the one water molecule. Coming to the structure of sucrose, that is what commonly known as cane sugar, and it occurs naturally in certain plants like sugarcane and sugar beets, which composed of a glucose and a fructose through an glycosidic bond, and it is an important carbohydrate of the diet. And upon hydrolysis, it yields one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. So the structure is given over here with reference to the sucrose or cane sugar. That is what is for your reference. Coming to maltose, an important type of disaccharide. It is found in germinating seeds and malts, and it is also produced during the digestion or degradation of starch, and it consists of two molecules of glucose monomers. And the structure is given over here for your reference. Then comes the lactose, which is also called milk sugar. It occurs in the milk of mammals and is synthesized in the mammary glands. It consists of one molecule of glucose and one molecule of galactose, which is what I already told you in the previous slide, which are linked by beta-1,1 glycosidic bond. So this is with reference to another type of disaccharide called lactose. And the structure of lactose is given over here for your reference. And all these structures you are supposed to learn by means of practicing it or by means of writing it many number of times. Note: glycosidic bond. The anomeric hydroxyl group of one sugar and a hydroxyl group of the another sugar of some other compound can join together and splitting of water to form a glycosidic bond. So that is what the definition for a glycosidic bond, wherein the functional group, that is R group, it is associated with OH plus H4. Again, the R group, that is the functional group of the next sugar, that is in combination with oxygen, and functional group, that is R, and there will be the elimination of water. So this is what with reference to the definition for glycosidic bond. Then coming to polysaccharides, a great majority of carbohydrates exist as polysaccharides in nature, and they are formed by the polymerization of a large number of monosaccharides. And polysaccharides are the sugar polymers that occur in a continuous range, and usually they contain more than 20 monosaccharide units in them. However, some of them contain more than thousands of monosaccharide units which are joined together by glycosidic bond or linkage. The general empirical formula for polysaccharides is: polysaccharides are insoluble in water and cannot pass through the animal membrane. And there are two types of polysaccharides. They are homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. Coming to homopolysaccharides, as the name itself suggests, homo means same, and in case of homopolysaccharides, they consist of similar kinds of monosaccharides units in their molecules. Example: starch, glycogen and cellulose. And that is been symbolically or diagrammatically been represented over here in this slide at the bottom of this bottom part of this slide. Then starch. It is a major form of stored carbohydrates in plants, and its structure is more similar to glycogen except for the much lower degree of branching. And a starch having unbranched or a linear structure is called amylase, whereas starch having branching structure is called amylopectin or amylopectin. So here this is what the starch having branching here, and it is said to be the amylopectin. And if it is not having any branches like this, it is said to be amylase. It is said to be amylase. So this is what the structure of the starch, which is containing multiple chains associated with that starch molecule. So it is a amylopectin. So this is with reference to homopolysaccharides, and let me stop at this level and continue the rest in next class. Thank you.